Doc, all I did was take a man out here that was out here telling stories and lies and lies and stories and stories and lies. And, well, you know, I let him run on for a while. Then I provided all the truth and justice that he was explaining about.
Hey, Richie.
Yes, come on, Sir Nappy.
I just want to know one thing. Did you put his family or his mother and anybody in his family on YouTube with some shit?
Well, according to him, I have all the wrong information, and everything I say is a lie. I think what's really bending his goat, Nappy, and let's get the issue clear here, Nappy, so it don't get twisted. Because the answer to the question, I don't know. He'll have to answer that. Everything he came out here and said about Richie, truth, justice, exposure, he's got a videotape of me on Utica, all outright lies. Everything Richie provided out here, or Richie furnished, is truth, justice, served up in the American, up in your face, don't be afraid to hit rewind, let's pop it up and get the facts straight kind of shit. So, Nappy, the answer to your question will have to come from him, because only he can provide truth and justice on this issue.
No, I asked you. You're trying to pass the buck to somebody else. I just asked you one simple question. Did you put anything on his YouTube about his family? And that could be easy. Yeah, I did. Or no, I didn't. And then it's it.
To be quite frankly and honest with you, Nappy, I would never put nothing on his YouTube. I'm not a fan of his. He's not a friend, customer, or a modulation buddy of mine. I don't even know what his YouTube is. Now, as far as my YouTube, do I document and videogate what goes on out here? Do I capture all the acclaimed truth and justice, and it turns out to be outright lie that you don't want court captured on Able to Rewind way? Yes, I did. Do people out there in Long Island and within this man's crew furnish me with photographs to post as thumbnails? Yes, they do, and yes, I do. Whether they are true or not, or whether they can answer your question correctly, I cannot answer that. Only the man who swears that I have all false facts, lies, and everything else can answer that question for you. Sir, I hope you're clear to understand what I said.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Love, if that man was any kind of law enforcement, even a duck plucker that worked around law enforcement, he would have no problem understanding that Richie doesn't do ACS things or anything like that, or quote things like that. Because I'm sure that the scrap that they're making over an ACS issue of something that we broadcasted after the fact that allegedly never happened, that drove them nuts. I'm sure that if there was any misallegation or wrong accusations, there will be criminal charges for filing a false instrument with that agency. Who was on the reciprocal receiving end of that accusatory instrument can only be labeled by the people involved. But I could assure you 100%, just as sure as I could assure you I'm not his crack-smoking, K2, methadone-inducing buddy, that person was not me.
Yeah, folks in on that. I don't think I heard that it was you. I just heard that 911 and the rest of them out there say, yeah, man, those dirty motherfuckers out there call the HBD and everything on like that, and call the guy's house, call the mama's house, talk to the mother. They didn't say your name in particular. Nobody said that Richie did damn shit. They didn't say your name.
I'm sorry, Dr. Love. We had an enforcer in the past 3 or 4 video gates in the past 2 hours saying I personally did that numerous times. Anybody who's real law enforcement would be able to tell you exactly who did do that there, Doc. And if there was a misallegation or a wrong there, they automatically, the people who did that, Doc, if they accuse a child of being assaulted and that child was not assaulted, then the people who made the complaint are getting false accusatory instruments for tying up a valuable public servant time. So, Dr. Love, I think the only people that can answer the question as to who's totally responsible for that is whoever is under investigation for bopping the child over the head. I myself do not know if it's true or not. I do not myself know if ACS has ever been involved, because I've been apprised of all this allegedly after the date facts of this incident has actually happened, including after the date that ACS was called on them, as my emails will reflect, as the video gates will reflect me in exposing it just that way. But you see, these junkies with no brain can't do the math behind that. So you know what, Richie's right. But I know the people with a head on their shoulders can. You know what, Doc, I really ain't got time for this. You keep waiting for Mr. Enforcer to post a video he's got of me on Utica Avenue doing what he said, or the videos of he said of me on Utica Avenue looking like anything he's claiming. So you go ahead and wait for that, Doc. But please, sir, I value the rest of your little life left. Please do not hold your breath. Richie Club.
I'm not going to hold my goddamn breath to what Enforcer say there, Mr. Richie. Okay, whatever's up there is between you and the goddamn Enforcer. I'm not going in there and see Enforcer and what you got up there of him, family, anything like that. That don't interest me, okay? If all that phone call bullshit and all that other shit that I was hearing out here, I didn't hear that Enforcer say that you did anything like that. I heard 911 cry about it and shit like that. But it ain't no better than what the fuck 911 come out here and talk about people's goddamn mothers and talk about fucking their wives and talk about they kids of other man's child and stuff like that. Ricky, shit ain't that bad. That goddamn 911 shit is more goddamn better than what the fuck that they talk about they doing.
Well, Doc, no disrespect, dude, but here's the sad problem of the issue, okay? These clowns out there shouldn't fuck over their buddies with drugs and drug money, and then they wouldn't have the problems they have today. In other words, yo, I'll give you this amount of drugs each week, just do this on the radio as much as you can. Then when that plan goes south, then you got to work with something else. Then when you wind up getting totally exposed yourself and kicked out of your house for accepting drugs and bringing the heat and stolen equipment and all this other shit to your actual home dwelling, you decided to shit where you eat, sling a lot of smelly, stinky, false, fake, perfumed up shit, and then the whole shit came back and hit you like a brick fucking ton fan right home on your front doorstep and got you kicked the fuck out of your home. So, Doc, I'm so glad that I do not have these problems. I'm so glad I don't have their project antenna window side problems. I live in a good place, in a good community, with a lot of good neighbors that know me for many decades, that know me for almost a full decade, who interact with me daily on a daily basis all day long, and who are so proud to listen to what they say about me from these men out here in my videos that don't know me, never met me, or are not the customers they see on the blocks or the corners all day long with the antennas, say such harsh things about me. So it makes me look good, and it makes them reach in their pocket harder and deeper and faster. So I can only say that what they're turning out, what they wish is turning out being to be my nightmare, is always going to be my blessing in the end, because the truth will always prevail and the truth will always surface. The truth always wins. Good always wins over evil. Doc, my father put me on this globe. I know the golden rule for you little pissant humans is turn the other cheek, but there's a flip side to that coin, Doc. Sometimes God throws some shit in the game. He puts second son on the fucking globe and teaches him and raises him. Your main job in this creation and that flesh will be one, to never ever turn the other cheek. Richie's clear.
Amazing grace, Mr. 127 King of Brooklyn, New York. I gotta tip my hat off to you. Such fine words, you speak so goddamn clear and fine of what you put down on me and tell me that who's a goddamn ass and who's got to worry about being to get kicked out the project for selling goddamn CB and selling goddamn drugs out the housing development and stuff like that. I got a second emotion on that, Mr. Whisker. Now, I was playing to tell Bad Boy the other day and talking about how much rent people in housing pay $600 and more. Now, he didn't state that Dr. Love pays $600, but I informed him, hey, Mr. Bad Boy, since you know so much about housing, I'm going to put a little buzz in your ear. Dr. Love don't pay no $600 and no goddamn rent. And Dr. Love takes care of bills and every damn thing in my house now. You can tell Bad Boy and the rest of your girlfriends out there that Dr. Love don't sell no drugs in the casa. And Dr. Love don't have goddamn whole bunch of crackheads in the house, goddamn doing crack, marijuana, sell marijuana, no damn DVDs. In order to get kicked out the fucking project, we see, he got to be doing the same things that you just spoke on. With the knowledge that you have, being a goddamn police officer and a goddamn third-degree detective, I find you to be very smart and very intelligent, you see. And so sometimes you can't be an asshole. I gotta say.
I know what the fucking Flosser laughing about. Well, you know, Doc, it kind of like reflects to me, Doc, as far as law enforcement is concerned, Doc. You know, I mean, when you got a cat like Tony on Cross Bay Boulevard for decades, hooking cops with hookers, scams, blackmail, and fucking money to be his little puppet, the cops that back me up, Doc, and the cops that are out here smiling right now, and the cops that salute me, and the cops that ride by throwing lights, whirly birds, and everything else for the suspended without pay motherfucker, is because they're 100% pure true to their oath, Doc. And you know what they learned about Super Cop over here? There isn't a dollar or a decision that's ever going to sway him from that oath or put him on the other side of that dark blue line that every one of those motherfuckers behind it hear my name and shake and quiver. But Doc, you know, I guess you could say when it comes to it, you know, I'm not working anymore. I'm not the undercover cop. I'm not the undercover cop playing the ultimate fucking king scumbag like Joey D. Pistone played for almost a full decade, night and day for 16 years. Taught by the man how to do that so fucking well. The icing on my little working cake, by the way. And, you know, I'm not that cat no more. So I can't change. Like I told an individual out here the other night, I said there is nothing in God's creation that you, my friend, can possibly do to change anything you did yesterday. But you are in full control what you do in the next minute from now, tomorrow, and for years to come. So don't ever lose focus or sight of that. When you're a clown like Enforcer out here who got beat up so bad and started doing new employers to claim public servant, maybe he's a public servant. Cop? Never in a million years. Inside any event, you know, actually no, let me rephrase that. It's possible, because the only fucking place that would employ a screw-up, low-life scumbag, ring and wing-ding neck like that would be the state of Screw Jersey, the police corruption capital of the world, where all NYPD, all the United States police fuck-ups, forced to resign, and all that other shit eventually wind up. The garbage doesn't move far from the fucking sewer, and that's where they're all at. Richie's on the side.
Oh, you fucking asshole. I've heard the story before about the guy talking goddamn New Jersey. You fucking asshole. You talking about the goddamn enforcer like a damn dog. Yeah, I see why you don't like his goddamn the king of New York. I see why the fuck he don't like you. If you know, you want him to become any goddamn enforcer, it won't be down in the state of New York. It'll probably be with a rest of scumbags up in New Jersey. Well, you need your ass kicked.
Alright, let me be very clear, because this is my last transmission for the day. I'm going to try to make it that anyway. To any and all law enforcement listening who appreciate my kind, my caliber, and my kind of cop, and who also appreciated everything Joe did in changing lots of laws and opening the doors for the FBI, but never, ever, ever got half the cake, as it was put to my father, as it was put to me by my father above God. He said, let me tell you something. He says, Joey never got half the cake he deserved for that job, nor did he ever get the time to eat that little piece. He says to me, but I'm going to make sure he gets plenty of fucking cakes, Richie, and plenty of time to eat it. So I want you to know something here and now. After my wedding, you will see Joseph D. Pistone more in public than you've ever seen before on camera, walking down the same streets he infiltrated, either me or his daughter on his arm, with the biggest of smiles, wishing any of you little piss ass to try it.
You and your friends don't need to shut up now.
Been out on K2 again. Like that, I would have got that damn water on the damn table right here.
You could only wish a man on K2 can speak something like that, you fucking Nimrod. I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you, son.
Law enforcement for the way you goddamn run your mouth and the way you talk. Boy, oh boy, that motherfucker enforcing me to whip your ass like a runaway slave.
You got that right, Doc.
That's what that boy needs. You need to goddamn kick his goddamn ass, enforcer. That guy said you ain't goddamn no goddamn enforcer, no goddamn law in Brooklyn, New York. You might be goddamn in goddamn New Jersey, which is easy to goddamn become a law enforcement. A whole bunch of scumbags up there. That motherfucker download you, that motherfucker Ricky crew you underneath the goddamn bus on a two-way street. Well, you see, if I take matters in my own hands, if I take...
A cop never would. A cop would do his job. Anytime he starts off with, well, here comes the next set of lies, guys. I wish he would take matters into his own hands.
How it is. You know how it is with guys like that, you know what I mean? They want to get busted up with the nightstick. They want to get...
Listen to this cat.
Broken cheeks. Police brutality.
Nightsticks. I haven't seen an officer with a nightstick on his belt in decades.
And he can have all the radio.
Not even beat walkers.
So that's his plan. That's what he wants to try to lure the enforcer into doing, but that's not going to happen because I don't fight. That will never.
Sounds like a big plea cop to me there, public. Just another wiggle worm way out of facts and perpetrating a fraud or something he's not. Nightstick? I ain't seen any street officer wielding a nightstick, even beat walkers in over a decade. He must have a security job in some government building. Poor wannabe.
You fucking asshole, Ricky, I tell you, boy. Shit like that. That got you just wanted to whip your goddamn cat. I don't think this is what you're gonna do with a fucking nice stick.